What's up, everybody? This is Hog Farmer Joe from Hog Farmer Charitable Foundation. Before you listen to Enter the Lab podcast today, presented by Red Zone in the Lab, I'm asking you to help us on our mission by helping children and families affected by pediatric cancer by making a small donation at www.hogfarmercharity.org. Thank you, and as always, hail to the Commanders.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Enter the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. In today's episode, it is going to be straight Lamar Jackson to whatever. We talk about Lamar Jackson's potential destinations and why these teams are not interested. And we also talk about his stats. Is he really a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? What makes him different from all the quarterbacks? And we also go into the top 5 wide receivers in this upcoming NFL draft. Buckle up and enter the lab.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Enter the Lab with my boy DT, C. Henry, and you know your one and only Lady E.
What's good, folks? It's your boy C. Henry here. And as you guys all know, Lamar has demanded a trade. Now what? Well, I guess the answers are pretty simple. He can stay. Baltimore still holds all the leverage, in my opinion. They can up their initial offer, match any offer by a competitor, or negotiate a one-year deal with him after July 17th. Maybe he leaves. Only thing is he's going to have to find a willing dance partner, willing to give him what he wants or at least find his sweet spot. Could he possibly sit and leave $32+ million on the table, miss out of a year of accruing of his service just to be tagged again next year? The answer seems simple, but somehow something tells me this is going to be a long and winding road. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your new host, DT. I am the host of the Ins and Out D podcast, a friend-friendly NFL podcast where we talk about all the teams, including my own Washington Commanders, even touch on college football. I just gotta tell you guys, this is a great podcast for you to listen to, and you guys can also follow me at D Cleveland Jr. on Twitter. All right, welcome back to Enter the Lab with the lovely Lady E and your boy C. Henry. What's going on, gang?
What up, though? Happy Thursday. Lady E so excited to be here. She just so excited.
I am. What's up, gang? That's how it is. Let's go. You know, Money Day.
Yes, Money Day. And speaking of Money Day, 3 days ago, guys, Lamar Jackson took to Twitter and he sent a letter to the Baltimore Ravens fan base and announced to the NFL world that he has decided that he wants to get away from Baltimore. And now some of this is not really surprising as of right now, as we speak. We kind of got the sense in the air, listening to like eavesdropping with Baltimore fans and things like that. Just now he's saying this. I think the only surprising thing is the timing in terms of when he decided he wanted to trade from earlier this month to now, almost at the end of this month, heading to April. So I'm gonna ask you, guys, what do y'all think about this Lamar Jackson situation?
I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
We just getting started. He just dropped this on. He just dropped this on us on Monday. We just getting started.
I'm tired, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, what people are not understanding is you got to talk to the Ravens. And I think I said it. I know, Henry, you kind of popped in that space with Eric, and I did. I said it. I said, do we think Lamar Jackson is a product of his environment? Because, again, the Ravens are running him like he's a running back / quarterback. He's getting injured. A lot of people are saying he needs an agent because his agent would have told him to do this, 2 years ago or did it last year. You know what I mean? And now the people are saying that he's talking via text. He's not being professional and different things like that. But then now we come out and we hear, hey, he asked for a trade March 2nd and y'all tag him afterwards. So, again, I get it. Y'all want something in return, but this seems like a broken relationship. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna sign that tag. And right now, the way everybody's acting towards it, Ravens either y'all gonna either lose or just be out. Either way it's gonna go. It's a no win-win situation for the Ravens at this point in time.
Well, you know what? I think the Ravens, like I said, in my opening statement, I still think they hold all the leverage in the situation. I understand that we've heard that there's been some type of negotiations. I don't know if this is true or false, but some negotiations within the last week or so with Lamar, between Lamar and Baltimore. So I don't know if the bridge is totally burned. I would love to know if he's just like, my bags is packed and I'm trying to figure out, what I'm saying, what my next plane ticket is, or is it simply like, if y'all, get the numbers right or up the numbers, then it's something that I can work with. I feel like he genuinely likes his teammates, genuinely likes the city of Baltimore. So I don't know, and he's still a young guy. So I don't know if he's ready to move and shake like that. Again, I think it's a situation where Baltimore, could possibly up their offer. I think this is a situation where Baltimore is giving him a chance to kind of get out here and see kind of what his market is. I think that, them saying that, he's injury prone now, they're kind of, showing him that the league may have, or some teams in the league may have the same type of mindset that they have, and a little bit less hesitant to give you the money that, you're seeking. But I think it was good that he did come out and say, hey, I am looking to move. I am really, looking to make that move, because really, like you said, without an agent, without those, folks in place who can speak on your behalf, it kind of looks like you're really not serious about moving. You know what I mean? About the texts and things of that sort, I don't know, how to respond to that, or, if that's true or not. I don't know what his mom's role is currently right now. So I think that's, something to look into. And if she is going to be representing you in any, fashion, make sure, and I don't know this to be true or not, but make sure she is one of the folks sanctioned by the NFLPA, you know what I'm saying, or to speak on your behalf and can make those type of calls and connections with these, businessmen. But it's crazy, man, that this guy is 26 years old, an MVP of this league, uber talented, and is having a hard time finding a job. And we see the likes of David Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo, get deals. I know they're not $40-50 million deals, but it's just crazy that Lamar is not, getting a job, doesn't have a job right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're going to go ahead and do the lab work right now. So
okay, the lab.
Each of our teams, respectively, have been in the conversations on getting Lamar. And for me, for the Washington Commanders, a lot of people on social media and other places have pointed to us as a team that makes the most sense. And I completely agree. We're talking about a guy that played at a high level for the past couple of years since he got in the league. He has battled in a very tough AFC North and also AFC Conference as well. And he's 45-16 as a starting quarterback. Now, okay, he's 1-3 in the playoffs, but shoot, only 22 quarterbacks in the league as we speak only have at least one playoff win. So I don't even care about all that. But I think it's interesting that this year we talk about the Washington Commanders. Past couple of years, they've been trying hard to get the quarterback. We tried to trade for Matthew Stafford, tried to trade for Russell Wilson, and just so happens that someone who's on a little bit younger side, dual threat quarterback, won an MVP, was in Baltimore. He didn't really have the same amount of talent as Washington does currently as they're building right now, although the offensive line is probably the only difference. This makes the most sense for him to go to Washington. Now, I do understand the politics. Baltimore and Washington, I don't even want to talk about that. Just know you're going to see a lot of purple turn back to burgundy. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of purple jerseys are going to turn back burgundy. And unfortunately, I was on the Lamar train. I do love Sam Howell, but we're talking. You don't miss an opportunity like this. It's very rare for players like this magnitude to come out and say, "I want to be traded. I want to have a better opportunity for myself. I want the money." And Washington decides they're going to go with Sam Howell. Now, in the past, Sam Howell was considered as certain points a first-round pick, but he's not a first-round pick. It's a fifth-round pick. So it's going to be interesting on our end to see the true development of Sam Howell this upcoming season. So now, E, we got to talk about you. Y'all, ATL, Mike Vick.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. Everybody is legitimately put a circle, star, highlight, everything for Atlanta. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm just speaking for me personally. If it happens, it happens. But in realistic times, we went after Deshaun Watson. Technically, Deshaun Watson called us. He called Uncle Art and told him, hey, I would love to come play with y'all. But we weren't even offering him what the Cleveland Browns was offering. And then now we have another quarterback who wants the same amount. And we're looking at it like, okay, we got to give you that plus get an asset. Well, let me tell you something. Lamar Jackson comes to the Atlanta Falcons. What defense and what offense do you're going to have? We don't even have a number 2 wide receiver right now. Okay. You're only going to have Drake London and Kyle Pitts, which are two good receivers and a tight end. But in the same token, if you're coming to win, Atlanta's not the spot for you right now. We still have holes. We have done well in free agency. We picking up defensive linemen. We're picking up safety. We're doing everything that we need to do to build a team. And I feel like, if we would have never got that call from Deshaun Watson, I'll be honest, we would probably be just now getting rid of Matt Ryan. Okay. Then we can have this conversation. But again, team is not built. We just got out of salary cap hell. Got a little bit of cash though, money. And I don't think that Terry and Arthur are ready to go out there and make that splash when they know they got major, major, major holes to fill. So that's why I think he should go ahead and go to them Detroit Lions and leave my Falcons alone, because this ain't the second helping of Vic. Just saying.
It's wild because both Washington and Atlanta will both be trotting out young quarterbacks from the past draft last year, with Desmond Ridder, who got a couple starts last year, get his feet wet. You started to see him develop his game a little bit. Now he gets full throttle opportunity in the offense. And now we're going with Sam Howell. So this is going to be interesting how now these teams are deciding to use rookie quarterback to help them build the team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both my homies, and I'm gonna tell you like this. Last week was the was the opening of the season of hope, and we still can dream and we still can hope. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think any GM besides Mr. Ballard and the Colts, who are clearly in the quarterback, in the quarterback derby, are going to make known their intentions to pursue, Lamar. So, don't fret. Your team may not be out of Atlanta or Washington. Washington, I would love to see him with those weapons and with EB. I think that's a great move. But, you guys don't even want Jacoby to compete with Sam. So y'all don't even want to whisper Lamar's name and get that boy shook up. So I understand y'all not saying nothing. And then in Atlanta, you hit it right on the nose. I think that's another city, another chocolate city, just like DC, a chocolate city, which Lamar would definitely enjoy. We know Atlanta has all of the sights and sounds and privileges that young folk and old folk enjoy. But with that being said, like you said, if he's trying to win right now, maybe he will not choose Atlanta, even though I will say this whole thought process is that if you pay a quarterback, you can't build a team around him. I totally divest that. Quarterback's been getting the most money for the longest and been winning championships. This whole, rookie quarterback deal, get a guy on a rookie deal, has really been a phenomenon over the last 5 or 6 years. So I don't get caught up in that. Now bringing it to the Lions. Now I would love to have Lamar. I think he's a top 5 talent. I think he, when you look at the quarterbacks, if your name is not Mahomes, really after that, he's arguably and debatable as good as anyone else, on the list. He would be an upgrade, over a guy like Goff. But with that said, we do have some money right now and money, going forward that we could possibly pay him. We do have a young team with some weapons that possibly we could surround him with. So Detroit would be, and it's a chocolate city, and it has some wonderful sights and sounds as well that people really, really enjoy. I've been telling you that. I've been telling y'all that for the last year and a half. Detroit's a great place to be. So it would be wonderful to see Lamar here. But with that being said, our GM and our coaches are singing the same songs that y'all are singing. They not, they saying they trust in golf and they can win with golf. And I do believe that we can win with golf. I don't know if we win because of golf, but hey, I think we can win with golf. And maybe we don't know how the situation is going to really, really play out. If I had to really throw a dart at it, I would say probably Lamar works it out with Baltimore maybe for a year and maybe works in some type of clause saying you can't tag me again. I don't know if you can do that legally or if you can put that in there somehow, but he probably settles at $45 million. And hopefully, you can't tag me again. So maybe then next year in 2024, when we have a little bit more money, maybe he can be a total free agent, and maybe we can our teams. I'm gonna say we still a team until September comes. Our team can pursue him next year. Amen.
Man, see how you funny, man.
Exactly.
We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue the Lamar Jackson talk about the top 5. Is he a top 5 quarterback? His production and how he'll fit in other NFL offenses, and the top 5 wide receivers. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Do you sit back and say, man, these walls just need something? Feel like it's time to freshen up your place with something new? If your answer is yes, then it's time to call Rob of Lewis Paints Plus, the accent wall expert. Rob will even give you a free estimate on how he can transform those boring walls in your home. To book today, call 240-418-5241 or reach out on Instagram at Lewis Paints Plus. And for 10% off, tell him Red Zone sent you.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy C. Henry, the host and producer of the Fellas Present Sports Rap podcast. I discuss the latest happenings around the NFL, college football, the NBA, and also the latest from the Detroit sports scene. I try to keep it informative and funny, and we always keep it light with some of my hip-hop favorites mixed in as interludes. Follow me at CHEN313 on Twitter. That's at CHEN313. And also subscribe to the show on Anchor, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And again, that's DA, Fellas Presents Sports Rap Podcast.
All right, y'all. So let's get into these top 5 wide receivers. Now, I got Mr. TCU himself. I'm just saying now. Quentin Johnson. So I know C. Henry has some memories that he doesn't want to basically talk about Mr. Johnston here. But I got some memories of myself. He only 3 yards. But no, so getting deep down into it, we got Quentin Johnson. He stands at 6'3", 208 pounds. He is because he had his pro day today, so give me 2 seconds. Let me get it. He ran a 4.53 and a 4.5. So he is a 4.5 guy. And it kind of shows out there on film that he's not the quickest of the tall quarterbacks, as we've seen probably before with others in the past. But hey, he's good. The only thing that I would say is there's not any consistency. He played well when they was coming down. We're going to talk about the playoffs, but when he played against in the Big 12 championship, he did well. When he played against Michigan, he did well. Whatever it is, when it came down to it, when he played Georgia, it was invisible. So we can pretty much kind of say that when it comes down to the playing styles of the cornerback, if somebody can match up with him, it's just a little bit hard for him to kind of get that. I mean, again, this is a good wide receiver number 2. I kind of got him going in the second round per se, but I see him can still make it out of the top 20, even probably all the way down 20 to 31, just depending on how people like him. But he does he does need to work on that consistency a little bit more, have that. And I feel like if he gets with the right system, he can. The only thing about his weaknesses, another thing too, he needs to make sure that he's with an accurate deep ball quarterback. He only caught 6 of McDurgan's 32 touchdown passes in 2022. So, and then if he can process with that, I feel like he will be a major deep ball threat. What a lot of teams are probably looking for this upcoming year. So, then on top of that, the last thing for him is that he is inconsistent when finishing catches. Last play against my Georgia Bulldogs, when he matched up with good old Keely Ringo, ball went right through his hands. So again, we don't want to see that on the next level. I could have went to highlights with you, see Henry, but I didn't want to have to make you relive that again. So, but Quinn, Quinn Johnson, he's a good player, good
Yes, thank you so
wide
much.
receiver number 2. Good wide receiver number 2 on the next league. I do see him going around the last half of the first round, second round. Now, Josh Downs, this is my guy. I seen him with his pro day. Smooth, love it. Very creative when it comes down to running. Can find them little soft spots in the zone. Love it, love it, love it, love it. He is a slot receiver. He's only 5'9", 171 pounds, and only has 30 inches per arm. So no, we're not going to see him as a wide receiver number 1. We're not going to see him as a wide receiver number 2. But if you're looking for a slot guy who got speed, this is your man. This is who you're looking for. This is who you want. He had back-to-back 1,000 yards receiving, had over 100 catches during his time at UNC. He has good hands, everything. The only thing that you probably can say about him is when it comes down to run blocking, this is not your guy. He is not. And I think it's because he can get bullied off the line. Come on. He's a small guy. He's not going to sit over here and bully anybody. He's not going to be that threat. So that's another thing. If you're looking for him to be one of those run blocking wide receivers, this is not who you are looking for. Like I said, this is a pure slot guy. His comparison, give me 2 seconds because I had his comparison down. If you guys are familiar with Dante Jackson with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's who you can kind of compare. That's how he can be used in the same how the way the Steelers are using him. That's how we can look at that when it comes down. But again, he's a second round pick. I don't see him going. He can probably go to the 3rd, but he's a pure second round pick if you're looking for that slot guy. So make sure, because if my Falcons had a chance, bring him on to Atlanta because I love him. I love him.
Okay, so I'm going to stay in the ACC, and I believe this guy is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the draft, outside of Jackson Smith-Njigba, outside of Jordan Anderson. This guy is Zay Flowers from Boston College. I think this guy is very versatile. He can play the X, Y, and Z. A lot of usage in Boston College with the jet sweeps, return motions, very fast pace, smooth release off the line. He's able to get yards at the catch. He turns a 0 to 60. I think this guy is a great playmaker. He's going to be a complementary piece to a team that already has a wide receiver 1, and they're going to be a dangerous duo in any type of offense. I think he's a very good scheme fit for everybody. West Coast, Air Coryell. Now, I think the only big problem will be he is 5'9". He doesn't have the big size that a lot of people are with Jackson. He's like 6'1", and that's okay. Not everybody's going to be big. I think this guy's going to be a playmaker, though. Any team that gets an opportunity, I'm not going to be shocked he goes late in the first round. I mean, that's where I see him going. I see him like a team like the Giants, try to get some help with Daniel Jones, or maybe even Dallas, maybe want to do something to help out the offense a little bit more. This guy, he's going to be a playmaker. I'll keep your eye on Zay Flowers.
Okay. So next we're going to talk about Jordan Addison, wide receiver out of USC. Previously, I went to the University of Pittsburgh. He was the 2021 Biletnikoff winner, basically the best receiver of that year, had over 100 catches for 1,500 yards at Pitt, transferred to USC last year, had 59 catches for 800 yards. And he's a guy who can do a little bit of it all, can get deep, averaged over 15 yards a catch, again, both years. Also has great hands, runs great routes. Is not the big physical receiver like a lot of the receivers in this draft, 5'11", 175 pounds, so a little bit frail, but shows quickness in the slot, and it shows the ability to get off jams on the outside. So he's a guy that possibly can play on the outside and as well as in the slot. And I would not be surprised if he goes late round 1, early round 2. Again, size is probably the biggest factor, but he has a lot of the tools to be successful at the next level. Next, we're going to talk about Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is probably the enigma of the wide receiver spot in this year's draft. We're talking about a guy who got injured early in the year, only played in 3 games, and the injury itself, we don't know personally, how severe it was, but there were some questions about him packing it up and not coming back and playing and competing this last year. So there are some questions about his durability. Also some questions about his speed. I think he ran a 4.52 at his pro day. Some folks are kind of have mixed emotions on him. Can he play inside? He played a lot of the slot receiver. Played a lot out of the slot his junior year when he played alongside Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. But again, I think, seeing him, he's been able to be moved around, had 1,600 yards on 95 catches, his sophomore year, actually. So again, somehow making big plays, not seen as a speedster. To me, if you look at a comp for him, I'm looking at a guy that's probably going to be in the Keenan Allen type of, type of receiver at the next level, but could possibly play on the outside. I see a little jitters in him. I don't know. He ain't running the 4.3 like him. And Jordan Addison, if you had to give another comp for him, I would say probably in the DJ Moore category of receiver. So, comps, hopefully they get there. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to add mine for Quentin Johnson because I forgot that. I'm going to throw out a name that y'all probably haven't heard in a long time. But if you all remember Alshon Jeffrey, that's that comp for Quentin. That's that comp for Quentin Johnson.
Oh, man, I'm going to be the oddball. I ain't going to cop Zay Flowers to nobody. He's Zay Flowers.
He's Zay Flowers.
That's all he need to be.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers, baby. So this is interesting, right? So we know for the past couple of years, we've seen the drafts. It's been a run on wide receivers lately, first round thing. Then last year, 2021, if I'm not mistaken, it was at least 4 to 5 wide receivers that went in the first round. And yet you still have one of them. Oh, Drake London and Jahan Dotson, Chris Olave, Traylon Burks, and Garrett Wilson. Those are the guys that went in the first round. And even then, you had production from the second round, third round guys like a George Pickens. So
should have been a first round.
Amon Ra. Don't forget Amon Ra.
That's a whole different draft class, man. Golly.
No, that's just 2 years ago, wasn't it? This is 2 years ago.
Jameson Williams, I'm ready for a big year for him. I think he's gonna have a big year.
I'm hoping so, man. We need Jameson to lock in, man. He's ruffling some feathers around here, but that's okay. He's a young man, but we need him to lock in. But it's gonna be crazy. You know what? I think the last couple of years, we've been kind of spoiled. A lot of these prospects were really, really, really. First of all, they were more physical, stout, big physical guys. And they had, a lot of like this class here. I see a lot of guys who have great abilities, but again,
they need
Jordan Addison, 5'11", Zay Flowers, 5'9". A lot of these guys, Jaden Reed from Michigan State, 5'9", 5'10". We just can't. They just can't put it together. Quentin Johnson, 6'3", 210, but isn't quite the route runner that you'd like to see. You know what I'm saying? From a big guy, isn't quite as fluid as we like to see him. Great speed, great run after the catch ability, but each one of these guys has their strengths and they have their flaws. And this is going to be about which team, basically feels the best about them and which team, what attributes, they offer best to the team. And I see about 4 or 5 guys going because there is a little bit, I think it's going to be a late run. It's going to be a late run. Probably about 4. I see about 4 or 5 guys going.
Yeah, I agree with that. The late half, the 20 to 31. That's where I see it at. We know Chicago's looking for them a wide receiver, but I feel like they need more of a wide receiver too. Y'all have y'all wide receiver number 1. We already know Claypool was already a third stringer over there in Pittsburgh and still couldn't get what he needed to go get. So that's a big question mark. But at the same token and at the same time, again, this is not a strong wide receiver class that we're used to seeing. You know what I mean? Like this, we're used to seeing, those great route running skills, the great speed, but we're getting that speed from the guys that you'll find more so in the slot. You know what I mean? We're questioning guys that can have 1,000 yards, 100 catches over the years that they have played. Like they can do that, but we're still trying to figure, hey, can he play inside? Can he play outside? He's a little slow. He's only running a 4.5. Like if we're having a lot of question marks with that, we taking a step back. We taking a step back. Like I said, anybody going high is 9, 12. Those are your wide receiver number ones. No doubt about it. Those are not your wide receiver number two. Those are not the slot guys. Those are not your guys that you're only going to see a couple of snaps per game. Those are a Drake London, a Chris Olave, and I'm even going to throw it back, a Megatron, a Julio. You know what I mean? So if you're drafting those wide receivers that high, then yes. No, later on in the first round, there are guys going to go into the first round. I will be shocked if I see anybody go in the top 15, top 10. I will be shocked if that even happens.
Just an interesting observation before we leave, but I almost feel like there's a lot of guys who used to play wide receiver playing DB, playing cornerback this year, because we got a lot of 6'1", 6'2", 6-foot cornerbacks this year coming out. Well, I bet you they couldn't catch the rock back in the day, and they got switched to defense.
No, but see that's a good observation. But you got to realize a lot of these teams want those Seattle type quarterbacks. They want them to be like that. They want those lanky dudes because, again, I'm not saying that the wide receivers are getting shorter, but you need somebody.
But they weren't. I mean, they were getting taller. They were getting taller. This class done went back.
Yeah.
They like, wait a minute, we need some height over here.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, we probably need to bring back the corners at about 5'10", 5'11" back because now it seems like the wide receivers are getting shorter. I'm gonna say is they need some milk.
Oh my God. Oh man. I have to agree with y'all. I think down the stretch, because of the value of the draft, we're looking at the cornerback is way deeper this year. The O-line, it's kind of questionable. You might see one guard or maybe a center pop up surprisingly in the first round. But I think that 20 to 31 range, and that's playoff teams too, by the way, guys. Let's keep that in mind. Those wide receivers might have a run. Now, my question would be about Quentin Johnson. Will he be able to sneak in the first round? Because I haven't heard a lot from him lately. I do know that he's kind of been falling on some people's boards. Apparently, he's not even 6'4". He's like 6'2". So this it's going to be interesting with this wide receiver class. Once you see Jackson or maybe Jordan Addison, whoever go first, then you start probably see the run on wide receivers.
Yeah, I agree. They still need some milk though. They did eat their vegetables. It stumped their growth. What's up, y'all? This your girl, Lady E. So I'm going to speak on behalf of my Falcons and this Lamar Jackson. I just want to shout out Miss Taylor. Because she made a comment today that got all the Falcon Nations running because she's trying to say that Atlanta doesn't want to win. Let me tell you something. We do want to win. Lamar Jackson can come in and actually make us a competitive team. We go into the playoffs, all of that, everything. But the problem is, if he does not have a team, where are we going to go? That's the whole thing. Again, Atlanta is not in a place as far as team-wise to win. Yes, if he's looking for a playoff win, a Super Bowl in the first year, second year, whatever the case may be, then Atlanta is not going to be the place for them. So when it comes down to the whole situation, Atlanta has an opportunity to do it still, but let us get our team together first before y'all start saying that we don't want to win. That's the whole reason why we're trying to get our team together. We want to win, okay? And quit trying to make Lamar the second coming of Vic. I'm getting tired of that, okay? It's still ATL, though. I wouldn't mind having Lamar, but right now, I want my defense. I want my defense and I want my offensive line. But that's my closing thought for today. Why not Atlanta? Why not the other teams? Why y'all focus on us? Remember, we 28-3? Y'all stay with them jokes, though. I love y'all. I quit.
Oh my gosh. All right, man. With all that being said, this is like the end of the episode. We're gonna catch you guys next time.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Enter the Lab with your boy DT, Atlanta's #1 lady, Lady E, and yours truly, C. Henry.
Thank you for listening to Enters the Lab podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Zone in the Lab and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can download your podcast wherever you get your podcasts and visit us at redzoneinthelab.com.